Hi everyone, Alex from AutoStore here. This is episode 15 of How to Design an AutoStore, and this week we are talking about the simulator software. So this is something that I have no idea why, but AutoStore just do not scream about, do not shout about. It is one of the strongest features of our solution. The software is genuinely industry leading. You see a lot of our competitors still using just an Excel spreadsheet to see if a system's going to work or design how many robots you're going to need. You then see them adding more robots for free afterwards, or finding there's big traffic jams and having to reorganize the system itself, or find that conveyors haven't got the capacity to have the totes move down at the speeds that they expect. So, by having a proper simulation that works exactly as you'd expect it to in real life, AutoStore can really add a lot of value, and you can have a hell of a lot of confidence. If the simulation works, the actual install is going to work in exactly the same way. If it's installed properly, obviously. How does it actually work? You would take a grid design and a design of an AutoStore that we talked about over the past couple of months, and then we put that into the simulation software and we put in various different metrics. So the metrics that we would need for the simulation software is the Pareto, so your 80-20, 70-30, 50-50, whatever that is. Your handling time, so that is how long an operator will take to pick an item out of the bin and put it somewhere else. So how long do we need that bin to sit in front of the operator? That's our handling time. So let's say 14 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever that is. We then also need your shift structure, so your 24 hours, 2 shifts, when are your lunch breaks, having all of that in there just to make sure we're going to hit the hit rates. And then we can also take into account any sort of batch factors that we've used in the design phase as well. Simulations themselves take into account every single robot movement, every bin presentation, all of the digging down to get those really slow runners at the bottom of the stack, and every movement within the system itself for whatever time period that you set. Within that time period, we'll take into account charging requirements for the robots. If you can take off a few robots and make sure you can still hit with less robots running, turn off a port here and there, add an extra port and see how that affects your system as a whole. So this is when we can really, really refine the system to make it A, as lean as possible, and B, as efficient as possible. So we will take that exact same simulation file, download it onto the physical grid that's just been installed, and make sure that the physical grid marries up with the simulation that we've run. So we'll use all of the same parameters, same robots, same bin positions and everything, and we will just deliver those bins and just keep those ports running without anyone picking anything out, just to prove that the system physically is working as we would expect, which 9 times out of 10 it absolutely does. That software is called SimLive, and that's a standard part of the commissioning process of any sort of AutoStore install. What's really good about this software as well is if you do any extensions, add any robots, add extra ports, you can run all the simulations and run a SimLive with all of those added in. So you know that the system is going to work in the way it's expected from those simulations. So basically, the simulation software goes from your initial grid design, really optimizes that and goes through several iterations. I've seen some with 60 to 100 different runs with different robot counts, different port configurations, trying the carousel versus the relay, R5 Pro versus R5, all of these different iterations to really get the best possible solution for customers. Once we've got that, obviously order the system, physically install it, run the sim live to confirm that it's been installed properly and you're hitting the rates that you're expecting. And then once you've got that, you can then just go live with the system itself. So the commissioning phase is really, really straightforward. So that's it for the simulation software. As I say, it is market leading, and I don't know why AutoStore don't shout about it more, because it is an absolutely huge asset to us from when we're designing products. If you're thinking of buying an automated solution and they haven't done proper simulations, and you ask them how they designed it and say, oh, we've got Excel spreadsheets that build all this out, that is a huge red flag for me. So make sure whoever your supplier is, whether it's AutoStore or not, they've done proper simulations. That's it for this week, going through the simulator software. So next week will be the final episode of this How to Design an AutoStore series. I'm just going to do a bit of a summary of the process that we go through. Tune in then. Cheers.